think this should be good now. Let's go ahead and get started here. So I think the idea is we'll just go over and look through all the cards one by one, and then we'll kind of review them afterwards. So we have two 1-drops here, Razorfan Geomancer, a 3/1 Battlecry, gain a Blood Gem, and then we have another one, 1-star 1/2. When you sell it, gain 2 Blood Gems. So the thing I'm noticing here right away is they didn't give Quilboars like a traditional econ card on one, like the tokens or Swabby or Elemental. It's kind of an econ card in a way where you get something for buying it, but it's not like something you can use to buy more minions, which is I don't know how often you're going to be buying these on turn 1 then over a token, because I think that's always the question when it comes to new cards like these. When you play new heroes, or when you play new cards, and you're on heroes that traditionally really need the econ minion, like, are you actually going to be buying this on 1 then over the Murloc Tidehunter? And I think we can come back to that later, but I feel like probably no. Like the Blood Gem synergies have to be really good early on for this to be worth it, because it doesn't, like, it has to make up for the impact of not having 1 extra gold later on, which is a huge deal compared to +1/+1 and Blood Gem synergy. But yeah, we'll take a look. I guess like combat wise, this one is super bad combat wise. This loses to like so many cards. It loses to basically all of the basically all of the 1-drops that you want to buy except for Alley Cat. I wouldn't be surprised if they just buffed this up to a 2/2, because like, you're basically buying this just for that sell effect. That's not a good reason to buy it early. This is just understated. Alright, let's go on to the tier 2s. There are 3 tier 2 cards. So we got Roadboar, 2/4 Frenzy, gain a Blood Gem. If you guys don't know what Frenzy is, it's during each combat phase, if it takes a hit and it survives damage, you get this Frenzy effect. So we have Blacksmith in the game right now, which is our only Frenzy card, and this is now our second one. I mean, this is a lot more well statted, and it's a like persistent effect too. I think this is a pretty good minion to buy in tier 2. Like, you're pretty happy with it. And then I know there's another card, this one right here, Tough Tusk. This is a really impactful one. It's a 2-mana or a 2-star 4/3. After a Blood Gem is played in this game, Divine Shield for the next combat. I think this is gonna be like one of those cards that you're just so happy to see on tier 2. It's gonna be like kind of like a new Spawn type of thing, where it's like such a priority pick. But unlike Spawn, this card is super good in the late game too. This card is just good at every stage of the game. So I think because of this, the Blood Gems are gonna be a big priority, and we're gonna see how much of impact this card has. It might make it so these 1-star ones are worth it. And another thing to note too is this card is so well statted at a 4/3. You don't really need to have that Divine Shield effect early on. It's just like, it's just a strong card. Like a 4/3. I don't even know. Like most of the cards, I guess yeah, most of the cards are pretty comparable on tier 2 to just this stat wise. So there's not really too much reason to not pick this card up early. Yeah, and it does allow some interesting things too with the power leveling up. Like, if you hold your power gems, so you use like 1 every single turn, you could power level up pretty aggressively. I mean, right now, power leveling up basically means like skipping tier 3 to go to tier 4 immediately. You don't really go from tier 4 to tier 5 immediately, because the tier 4 cards are super strong right now, and you get punished pretty hard. And then the last tier 2 card is a 3/3. Once per turn, after you play Quilboar, gain a Blood Gem. Okay, so the once per turn thing is interesting. Um, I mean, it's also fairly statted, and like just playing a single Quilboar, I mean, gives you value. Like, I don't know, you're just buying it early. It's not really a card that you want to buy later on though, because there's so many more efficient cards to buy to get Quilboars, or to get the power gems, right, or the blood gems, like these 1-star ones. I see you just picking this up kind of early on. It could be like kind of a sensei style card too, right, where you know you get a buff every single turn to maybe your better minions, but it's a lot less efficient because there's only one blood gem per turn, and you have to actually play a Quilboar. Alright, let's see what the chat says. No, the patch is coming out in a week. You're quitting BG because of this card? I don't know about that. It's strong, but you have to wait and see. Okay. But yeah, so going over these cards, so can we answer any of these questions right now? I mean, I think I was mentioning, like, this card is definitely the card to look out for. Having another Divine Shield card in, like, the traditional Menagerie setups is just incredibly insane. It's also the cheapest one that you can get, right? It's a tier 2. And by cheapest, I mean not cheapest, but it's like, it's the lowest tier one you can get. It's a lot easier to find this card because there's more copies of it in the game. So I mean, already, like, I can see Menagerie being a lot stronger because they have a new Divine Shield minion. It does have a little bit of a tough effect, and that is pretty impactful because it seems like the blood gems may not be as easy to find, just from what I've seen so far, except for this one. This one is super good. Buying this one, selling it, having the 2 blood gems means that you get the Divine Shield in 2 turns. Like, just supporting the Tough Tusk with a Sun Bacon Relaxers, yeah, like, probably going to be good enough. But yeah, we're going to see, like, blood gem management being an important thing in the upcoming few weeks. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to answer any of these until we get further on, but I'm just saying that this one is definitely one of the more impactful ones, and I can kind of see it already. So now there are, oh wow, there's 4 tier 3 Quilboar cards. So a 3/3 first blood gem play in this each turn gives an extra +3/+3. Okay, I see. So you get +4/+4 when you play a blood gem on it for the first time. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. If you can just hoard like a blood gem going into tier 3 and you roll this, getting that 7/7 is solid, and then be able to put your, you know, blood gems on it later. It's not like the, I mean, I guess it is pretty good. I was gonna say the Divine Shield one might be a little bit better to put them on, but the +3/+3 scales pretty well mid game. Lets you do some power level up stuff. Hey, Demorbid, doing well. How are you? Banana Boar. Oh, Banner Boar. Oh man, 2 into the bananas. 2 attack, 5 HP. At the end of your turn, play a blood gem on adjacent Quilboar. Ooh. Wait, that's super good. Holy shit! You can just keep this. You can just keep this on the board like early on, and then you'll enable this without having to actually buy anything. Okay, I'm a lot more interested in the synergy cards now. That's insane. Play it on an adjacent Quilboar. I mean, I guess like you have to kind of position a little bit funky, because you don't want to have 2 Quilboars adjacent to it. So you might have to put this on the left or on the very right, but given how strong this is, I don't think that's that much of a problem. And then we got Thorncaller, a 4 attack, 3 HP, Battlecry, and Death Rattle, gain a blood gem. Okay, so the tier 3 cards, it seems like it's all about generating these blood gems, and they're very good at generating them. Death Rattle to get blood gems, insane. Okay, it's gonna be a lot easier to get blood gems actually. Like, you just pick up these cards early, and then you don't have to invest too much later on. You just have to kind of hold blood gems. Alright, and then the last one. Battle Cry, choose a friendly minion. It steals all its blood gems from its neighbors. Oh, nice. Wait, so, you don't have to be conservative with the blood gems at all, actually. You can just put them on, like, an early unit. Like, maybe you put them on this guy early, and then you phase it out later on, like, if you don't need it anymore, and you can put it in, like, a better carry unit. I assume that this doesn't transfer over these extra +3/+3s, though. But I mean, it's just nice to know that, you know, you can pick this and transfer over stuff. Although I don't know how worth it is, though, because it's like you're still spending a card to do it. You'd have to put like a lot of blood gems, I think, on some card to make this worth it. What does steal mean? I'm pretty sure it means it steals the gems from it, so it reduces the buffs from the old ones. Okay, so I mean, it's a similar story, like kind of blood gem management, and we have the 1 blood gem synergy card. Okay, moving on to the tier 4s, there are 3 tier 4 Quilboars. Dynamic Duo, 5 attack, 6 HP, taunt. After a blood gem is played on another Quilboar, gain +1/+1. Okay, and there's no limit to this one, and it's a taunt. The fact that it's a taunt is super good, actually. Just because we already know how strong all the taunt cards are. This is like a little bit of a buff to those taunt cards, to be honest. You can go like taunt Quilboar, you know, mid game. If you have to just like top 4 or something, like if you have a bad start, you can kind of do some stuff with this. And this says played, so I don't think it works with that the steel card Necrolite. Just a note for that. Bonker, 7 HP or 4 attacks, 7 HP, Wind Fury. After this attacks, gain a blood gem. Okay, yet another blood gem generation card. It's like decently statted too, 4/7. I mean, I don't really think this is ever gonna fit like. There's just a transitional card, like you can pick it up to replace a weaker unit and then get your blood gems, but yeah, I can't see you actually putting this in endgame comp at all. Dynamic Duo absolutely glues the comp together. Yeah, like you need a strong mid-game card for sure. And then we have Ground Shaker. After a blood gem is played on this, give your minions +2 attack for next combat only. Man, the issue is there's a lot of cards that want blood gems, huh? This card wants a blood gem. The tier 3 4/4 wants a blood gem, or a 3/3 maybe. And then the 2-star 4/3. Man, I'm never gonna remember these names until a long time. This one and this one, Tough Tusk. Yeah, this one doesn't seem that good. Yeah, it doesn't really seem very good. I wonder if you could like sell it off though. If you could buy it, play it, put the blood gem on it, and then sell it, and then have a free slot. Because this could be pretty good with like mechs, but it's super expensive compared to just getting like a leaper or something. But I mean, sometimes you don't get leaper and you get this card and you want to just you know, give it some extra attack on everything. Yeah, I feel like you don't really want to invest the money in this one. Hey Nina, thanks for the hose. What if you really want to kill someone? I mean, yeah, I guess, you know. I just don't think like you're actually gonna put it on the board though. I hope that you can just play it, sell it, and then get the effect next turn. But I feel like it's probably you have to have it on your board. So this is like probably the weaker one I've seen out of all these. This one's really good as kind of a mid-range, you know, card to build around, and then just more generation. And Wind Fury is always nice to have the metagame too. to kind of help beat like Exodia or Beast builds a little bit. It stacks too, not just once a turn. Oh, yeah, you're right, you're right. Yeah, so you could play a bunch of blood gems on this actually, just as like a last stand type of thing. If you have like a bunch of Divine Shield minions, then yeah, just +2 attack everything, and yeah, that's pretty good then. Wow, there's gonna be so much complexity with managing your blood gems. I like it. I like that type of strategy. And then we have 3 tier 5 cards. Burst of Black Knight. Windfury Divine Shield. Wait, what? Oh my god. Wait, this card is so good. We traditionally don't really have like super high value carries on tier 5, but this is insane. It has Divine Shield and then it can get Divine Shield again. And it already has like high base HP. I mean, I want to be cautious about Frenzy though. Frenzy is a lot harder to trigger in Battlegrounds than in like Constructed. That Frenzy effect might not be as relevant, but just having Divine Shields and Windfury on a unit is solid. Yes, I mean, just another carry unit to put in Menagerie or to put in just Quilboars. Like, if you have 2 Bristleback Knights and 2, I'm gonna take a while to remember this one. Tough Tusks. That kind of reminds me like a Met comp, and then putting in this Ground Shaker card too. You can give a lot of attack to a bunch of Divine Shield minions. And they don't even have to be mexed. They don't even have to be Quilboars too. You could put in like mechs as well. Not that that works too well though, because mechs kind of need resets on the board. And then this one, Agam Third Course. After Blood Gem is played on this, give a friendly minion of each minion type +1/+1. And it includes itself too. Okay. Still in the tradition of giving Menagerie cards a little more power. I mean, tier 5 as well, so it's kind of hard to get it. You have to be like strong before you go to tier 5, especially in the way that the current game is, where tier 4 is very strong and tier 5 is not nearly as strong. It's nice to give a little more power to tier 5 with these two. And then we have the last one, Agamagan, the Great Boar. 6/6. Your blood gems give an extra +1/+1. Okay, so yet another blood gem payoff card. But these two cards are a lot more flexible, at least. This one's a beast, too. Oh, interesting. I don't know why they made it a beast. Like, what's the difference between this and this? It still looks like a boar to me. I mean, you're not really playing this beast card in, like, a Menagerie or anything, because it's kind of hard to generate blood gems from your, like, your Quilboar card, I think. I mean, I guess unless you have that the Windfury dude, but yeah, it's kind of hard to say how good this one is. I think we'll have to go back and see how easy it is to generate blood gems. But yeah, yet another reason to like hold on to your blood gems for a little more payoff. I don't really think you can be that greedy though with the blood gems, because you kind of just need to use them early, so you don't really have that much blood gems by the time you get this card, unless you triple into it. Yeah, we'll take a look, but I think it's like maybe you triple into this and then you try to milk the blood gems a little bit more for like a turn or two. Fun trivia for WoW nerfs. Agamagan is the boar skeleton you enter and raise it down. Okay. Then there's 2 tier 6 cards. Charlga, 7/7. At the end of your turn, play blood gem on all friendly minions. Ooh. So that synergizes super well with this. And it's a Quilboar too. What if he just had like some ridiculous menagerie stat comp with like, this is a beast, this is a Quilboar, and then just giving a bunch of stats to everything? That's pretty crazy. And this is every single turn too. I mean, it just seems good, right? Like, now you're a lot less sad to triple into an early 6. This is just like a scaling card, and it gives you direction too. Not even just Quilboar direction, it could just be Menagerie direction. Okay, and then this one, after you spend 3 gold, gain a blood gem. Well, okay. After you spend 3 gold, so I'm assuming that counts rolling too. Wait, this is disgusting, isn't this? You literally just get 3 blood gems a turn if you use your golds. This with APM Pirates is crazy. Yeah. Oh my god. We could do more elite comps with Hogger and with this guy Captain Tusk. He's also yeah, he's also a pirate captain, I guess. Wait, what would we do with this though? I mean, we could couple it with this. We could couple it with this. Wow, that's gonna be insane actually. That's so much APM. I'm assuming there's gonna be some sort of animation. Hope it's not too bad. Okay, let me do this. Should be good now, I think. Okay, yeah, so let's keep these high-end cards in mind as we go through this again. So a ton of blood gem synergies on like everything. Okay. So let's see. So I think this one probably isn't going to be bought too often. But I mean, you probably just use it as like a curve filler. As like a curve filler. This one seems yeah, this one seems like it's a lot more likely to be bought though. Getting 2 instead of 1, because you're just gonna, like, you don't mind selling it off. You don't care if this is a battle cry. It is interesting as a battle cry though for brand, but yeah, I don't know. I still see it being too expensive. Did we already discuss heroes? No, we're gonna discuss heroes afterwards. Okay. This card, it's like, you're just gonna be buying it early to get some blood gems. It's not, you know, it's not anything spectacular. You're just okay to have it, and sometimes you get value with it. It's kind of like Blacksmith, except the impact is way less, but it's also tier 2. It's 4 HP. This one is the nuts, and then given how easy it is to get blood gems, yeah, this is gonna have Divine Shield like all the time. This card is like, it's like the new Deflecto on 3. Yeah, like, I don't know. Whenever you're on tier 3 and you find like Bronze Warden Deflecto, you're like, wow, I feel blessed. You're gonna feel the same way with with Hook Tusk. It's just like such a good card in combat, and then you also just like can keep it late game. It's amazing. Why are you guys saying Find is not English great? Oh my god. It's tier 2. Yeah, it's tier 2. Yeah, it's insane. All these tier 2 cards are like super good compared to others. And then yeah, like yeah. This one for sure is the best one. This one's kind of mad, but I guess, like, you know, they're both kind of the same. You just keep them for a little bit and get some blood gems. This one is also like the card you want to see when you are looking for some early direction. It just gives you a lot more reason to buy these cards. Yeah, I mean, the more I think about it, this one's probably the This one might be a little bit sleeper OP. This one's nice because you're already gonna want to like be buying Quilboars anyways, so buy a Quilboar, get a blood gem, easy enough. And you can kind of manage this too, right? Like, you guys know how I sometimes buy cards and I don't play them, like because my hand's full and my board's full. You can do the same thing with this one to kind of bank stuff for later. Yeah, it's basically a banana, but it has synergy with these Quilboar cards. And then yeah, same thing. I mean, I don't know if this one's gonna be as viable as the other one, because it's on tier 3. Once you're on tier 3, there's a lot more competing priorities. When you're on tier 2, like, this is pretty fantastic. You're happy to have this 3/3 that gives you value later on. Yeah, I don't see this one being very good. This one's way better. Like, if you compare this one with this one seems, yeah, just so much better. Then yeah, I don't know about this one. This one probably isn't gonna be played as much. Maybe we should start answering this one a little bit then. Dude, I'm not gonna remember these card names when I type them. Sun, Bacon, Relaxer. Yeah, I'll have to take a look later on, but brute. Is it Necklite cool? You play blood gems on whatever early game minion, then you don't lose value. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, but the issue with it as well, like, because you have to spend money to buy this card. I don't know how worth it'll be later on. Like, you'll usually want to be transitioning out of units, like when you're tier 4, like when it's 9 golds or the first 10 gold turn. Look to see if like this is actually worth it, because the stats are like, it doesn't do anything besides its battle cry. But definitely like very late game, I could see it being the case if you like put a bunch of gems on this guy and the stats aren't relevant anymore and you need like Divine Shield or Cleave stats, then just buying this and then selling this off is pretty cool. Dynamic Duo. I think I'm really valuing the 2/5. I feel like, I don't know. I guess I kind of am, maybe. Like, I'm assuming that this one's a bit better because you just get to buy a Quilboar every single turn, but that might not be the case. Yeah. For now, I'm just gonna take a stance on it though and say this is like probably not nearly as viable. I don't know if I would call it sensei level because giving +1/+1 is not amazing, but the whole blood gem thing is yeah. I think because it's on tier 3, that's why it's a little bit more iffy. Like it's a big deal. It's on tier 3. Tier 3, you don't even want to stay there for that long, so it has to have like a very high premium for you to pick it up. Yeah, I don't think this one's very good. Nor is this one. But yeah, I could be wrong on this one. But I think just the fact that you have to play the blood gem on it just doesn't feel that good. And it's like not even a permanent buff too, so you gotta keep giving like crappy, you gotta give buffs to this card that doesn't really do much on board. And it's a tier 4 minion. I think it's gonna be kind of the problem that like Pirates has where, you know, you don't really want to be giving attack to just vanilla units. You kind of want them to have some sort of effect on them. Like the attack really doesn't matter that much except in very specific situations. Does it say adjacent? On adjacent Quilboar. Oh, okay. I thought it was on a adjacent Quilboar. That makes more sense. Okay, yeah. I think this one's a lot better then. Okay. Yeah, I think I misread that. Okay. We can add that then. Yeah, that makes a big difference then. Okay, and then we're talking about this card. I think this potentially is a little bit overhyped, but let's think about it a little bit. I think regardless, it definitely deserves to be added in here. Bristleback Knight, so Wind Fury is the key part, but it costs 5, it's like a tier 5 minion, so it's kind of hard to get it. I don't know if this this frenzy effect is gonna be happening all that much. I kind of think of this card as potentially like a standalone Deflectobot, right? Like Deflectobot has Divine Shield, it gets Divine Shield back pretty easily, but Deflectobot is a tier 3 and it's like a lot easier to buff up Deflecto because you get it early and there's like more efficient cards to buff up Deflecto. Like with mechs, Deflecto is like the only card you really want to buff up. With Quilboars, there's so many other cards you want to buff up, and they are not tier 5 minions. Yeah, I think I really don't think the frenzy effect's gonna happen too much, but I do like the redundancy of Divine Shield and there being more minions to buff up. Maybe it's good if you taunt it with Arm, but that's about it. Yeah, I could see that. You can combo it with Ghoul. But I mean, it has Wind Fury though. Like, the fact that it has Wind Fury means that you can't really combo with Ghoul. Because if you get this Frenzy effect after attacking twice, then you don't have a Frenzy effect anymore and Ghoul doesn't do anything. It's like anti-synergy with Ghoul. Yeah, it feels, if Frenzy could proc more than once, then maybe, but yeah, you don't really want to have Ghoul with this card. There's like some weird case where I guess you can like taunt up your knight and then have a Ghoul and then your opponent attacks into your knight. But yeah, it seems like kind of a stretch to me. Yeah, I think this one's gonna be overrated. Like, there's a lot of fancy keywords, but if you think about it, it's a lot worse than a lot of the Divine Shield cards that we have. Like, HP becomes not so relevant later on in the game because there's so much poison or there's so many high attack minions that, yeah, like, I don't know. It's probably not gonna, but it has Divine Shield already, so like, it already kind of fits in that role. It's also nice too that I don't know, it could be good against like the poison scam comps too, having Windfree and Divine Shields. Assuming they're playing like a glass cannon type of build, maybe your Windfree Divine Shield kills like 2 minions. Agon Thurn Course. Yeah, this one's to be seen. I don't think it's that strong because the Blood Gem generation is really dependent on you having good Quilboar cards. I guess you could have this card and you could have that what's it called? The Banner Boar. If you have these two in your Menagerie setup, then I think that's pretty solid. But without that combo, I think this is a little bit too hard. It's a little bit too expensive. Like, one big issue with Menagerie builds is there's so much board space issues that sometimes you're kind of board locked in, and it's hard for you to like generate the gems needed for this. It's like way worse than, you know, just Lifeng or Mithrax in a pure Menagerie build. So this might be kind of a mixed build, but I don't know what tribes work well with Quilboars right now. So yeah, this is to be seen. I think if it was to work well something, it'd probably be like a hybrid, not even mechs, right? It'd just be like you just have like a Hydra and you have a Bronze Warden and you. Yeah, I think if you're gonna play this card, because it's like it's not just one every single turn. If you're gonna play this card, you have like 2 different carry units, and then you just buff them up, and then the rest of your cards are Quilboars. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, if you just have a primarily Quilboar setup with your Banner Boar, then I think this is a solid card. And it's like it's able to be buffed up significantly on its own too. Well, not really actually, because it's there's not that many Quilboar buffs, because you have to choose. Yeah, I guess this will be less of a Menagerie card. This will just be like a full Quilboar type of build. I don't know. There's so many supporting cards that you need. It's gonna be hard to be strong like late game and also scale up your stuff a lot unless you get very ahead early on. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna be that impactful. I don't think this is good. This is like kind of you buy it for a turn and then maybe you get some more value. This card I think is extremely disgusting. Just like it's such an amazing triple. And like, there's literally no restrictions to it. Like, it's just you could just play this in any comp. Like, it just fits in any sort of comp. But you know, the tier 6s have to be super strong. +7/+7 turn seems slow. No, I wouldn't say so. Like, it's not slow because you don't have to do anything for it. Like, you literally just have to have it sit on your board. It's like, yeah, it doesn't get any better than that. Like, I love these cards where You know, they have tribes on them, they're well statted, and they just do something every single turn. They're very low maintenance. 1 to 5 beast Quilboar stack the other 5/1. It would, yeah, but you don't have like a blood gem generation though. I think it's a little bit hard to fit 2 of these cards as well as your blood gem generator. The gems are basically bananas, but they have synergies with them. And then Captain Flat Tusk, like, you just get like these two just seem very, very good to triple into. Charga stacks the beast 5-drop though. Ooh, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, but if you don't have Charga, then this one's a little bit iffier. But yeah, I'm a little more convinced then. This is good. Like, if you triple into Charga, then this is insane. You always pick this up. But without this, I think it's a little bit iffier. Yeah, it's up, BB bet. Okay, so let's see. Let's see if we can answer the other questions here. The synergies amongst all the tribes. I mean, just get as much blood gems early and okay, so what about the role in the meta game? I think it is gonna speed up the game, because this just feels like a better Pirates. Like Pirates had all those like tribal synergies too, and they do a ton of damage. But unlike Pirates, you know, I think these scale a lot better. But like, let's think about the. Hey, Grossa. I think like the reason why is because this is just such a disgusting unit early on, and then this one as well too, right? Like, this feels like a way better Hank. And then this one too. Like, I don't know. These 3-star cards are all so insane, actually. And if people are going to be staying on 3 more often, that's the thing I don't really like about this game right now. Staying on 3 is like, it's very hit or miss. Like, you either hit the really good cards or you don't, and then your turn feels like a terrible waste because your next turn is going to be more awkward and there's like less options. There's like less opportunities to find good cards. Because of the way that tier 3 and tier 4 works, right? Like, you have one more tribe, you have one more minion slot to unlock when you're tier 4, and there's just generally like a lot more tempo cards on 4, so it's like easier to take a loss on like that 8 gold turn and then make up for it on turn 4. It's gonna be a lot harder to do that now since some of these tier 3s are so strong. Not only do we now have blacksmith on tier 3, we have like these super strong just you know, stat check cards on tier 3 that are comparative to some of the tier 4 tempo cards, like, you know, high main, rematch, and egg. If you look at like the brew and like these cards, So yeah, like kind of the highest tempo thing we have right now is the Harbinger comps, and I think those are gonna be a lot better now. And given that Quilboars only have one taunt card, naturally, I feel like they don't really fit into taunt comp as well. They do have that Divine Shield minion though, which is always good to have, but yeah, it's gonna be a little bit harder to do this, especially given the positioning restrictions too, right? With this card. Usually, like in the taunt comps, you want to be positioning your taunts in between your carry units. You can't really like do that as well if you have this card too. And then I think the thing that I was mentioning was tripling into a 6 is kind of insane now. Let's look at the 5s again though. Like, this is the only card that that gives you direction if you don't already have a direction. This doesn't even synergize with Quilboars besides just being something to buff up with the blood gems. And this one's, I mean, this one's also like, this one's more of a blood gem Quilboar type of card. But like, if you can choose to triple between a 6 and a 5, you like pretty much always go for a 6 if you're Quilboar. Just like, if you think about this card, you know, your blood gems give an extra +1/+1. Well, where are you gonna get the blood gems? You get the blood gems from like these cards. Yeah, Charlga is insane to me. Charlga is insane. This one's kind of tame compared to it. This one has synergy with Hogger, but if you just compare these two cards with no other underlying synergies, this card means that you can focus the gems more, but yeah, like this is just way more buffs, right? It's like 2 times the buffs. Like, you don't get to choose which minions you buff, but it doesn't matter if you're getting like, you know, 4 extra gems a turn on average. So yeah, tripling the 6, good. Staying on 3, good. More tempo heavy cards if you fall behind. I mean, arm and Divine Shield's still gonna be good, but it's gonna be harder to do champion, I think. And then maybe like you're a lot happier picking up Harbinger because people are gonna be lower because of how strong these cards are early and mid game. Gems are bananas, but they have synergies. Okay, I think I kind of already answered this question. I'm just gonna delete this. And then the last question here is just strengths and weaknesses of the tribe. I mean, I don't really know if there's that many weaknesses. Like, everything I've seen is kind of insane. Like, alright, what's this card? With Tough Tusk. With Tough Tusk, Bristleback, and Dynamic Duo. And just like kind of, I guess one of the weaknesses is like it doesn't have as many AoE buffs. Like, there's not really as much of a reason to go full Quilboars as there is to go like full Pirates, like full Elementals or full Murlocs, right? No poison, relatively. I wouldn't say relatively little divine shield though, because there's a two. But I guess like it can be difficult to get an additional one besides these two. But I don't know. I think it's pretty easy to get divine shield actually. I guess like what's even nutty, like dragons, pirates. Am I missing anything else here? Like I think that's the one thing. It's like very consistent scaling every single turn, but it's not insane, right? Like it's it's just okay. Like it doesn't have like a Murloc style card with Bran where you just scale super hard. It doesn't have like the dragon stuff. But I mean it has this, but like the thing is these two 6-drop cards, they don't really support full Quilboars. Like yeah, like there's just a lot of stats, but yeah, it's not doing anything insane late game. It's more of like an aggro it's more of an aggro class, I'd say. Yeah, cuz like I think the main strengths are these 6-drops. These 5s are okay, but I think you kind of need to get these 6-drops for things to be really great. Maybe I'll add that like yeah, I think the route is honestly more just like power level up with Quilboars and then maybe do something else later on. Because the scaling just falls apart later. Besides, like I don't know, I think this is the one card that helps a lot. I think being like so well statted and also just being like kind of a sensei on tier 3. But again, like you kind of only care on your buffs on certain minions. You only care about it on the uh, on the Divine Shield minion and Bristleback Brute. But yeah, so like you have a super strong tier 3. Your tier 4 can be strong if you hit this card. If you don't hit this card, it's not really that good because this card isn't going to be as relevant, I feel. I guess it is relevant if you hit the Divine Shield minions, but other than that, the attack doesn't matter as much. Yeah, you just have a lot of stats mid-game, and you have potential Divine Shield stuff. But then you kind of have to, it physically kind of have to get 6-drops to make it work further, because these 5-drops are so underwhelming. They're so underwhelming for like the full Quilboar thing. It kind of reminds me of Pirates a little bit. You have like a ton of synergies, and then you have to hit your 6-drop. You have to hit Eliza. And then when you hit Eliza, you usually just don't even play full Pirates anyways. You just play like Exodia. Or maybe like everyone dies before you need to scale. Or on a tier 3 Quilboar strategy. Yeah. That could be decent. I mean, the problem though is I don't know, like it's not that efficient to generate blood gems through these cards though. It's kind of expensive compared to what you do with elementals. This is a lot worse because the elementals are cheaper, right? They cost like 1 gold, the tier 1s at least, and then you just get more buffs than +1/+1. You get a lot more spread out because your tier 2 cards just give you a lot of stats. I think there is some Arana strategy with it, but it's not nearly as good as elementals. But doesn't mean you don't play it. I think you probably can still play it. Like, what if you just have like a golden one of these and 2 of these, and then you just buy like some stuff? I don't know. It's like this restriction makes the strategy a lot worse. Because not like you're not just looking for elementals, you're looking for like very specific ones. You're looking for this one specifically because this one's not really cutting it. But yeah, I think we can probably move on to the heroes now. I think I've covered everything I want to cover. 6 drops good, early game good, mid game okay, tier 5 meh. You like probably need to do something else. Or like you don't have to do anything else. You could just like keep playing it and get your top 3, and that's like good enough in a lot of cases, especially in tournaments. Yeah, I'm gonna look at the heroes now. Okay, so we have Death Speaker Blackthorn. After you upgrade Bob's Tavern, gain 2 blood gems. I mean, this one just seems like clearly, you know, you want to level up pretty aggressively, but the blood gems are a lot worse than like coins, especially if you're power leveling up, because we already saw that you don't really want to power level up with Quilboars anyways, because your good cards are like on tier 2 and 3. You want to stay for a little bit and then maybe level up to 5 to get a triple into 6, or just go to 6. I don't think this one's that good. Like, you don't even really want to use your bananas or your blood gems on like turn 2. You want to hold for like a turn. I mean, I guess like the fact that there's such a good card on tier 2 makes this a lot better. You can just put it on the hook, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna remember this name. Tough Tusk. Tough Tusk. You can put it on Tough Tusk. It says Hot Temp Stream. Did I not update my description? Oh my god. Okay. Anyways, yeah, I think this is gonna be like middle of the pack. So enabling Quilboars on tier 2 before you hit the generators. It falls off like really easily. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this hero. Like, if you compare this to the other heroes that have this similar to this, like Omu and Buff Delise, this is so much worse. It's so much like less flexible too. Like with those other heroes, with Omu and Elise, you know, you level up and then you just give whatever direction the shop or your hero power gives you. Yeah. Right. If you compare it to like Quilboar or to Kael'thas, it does seem like a worse version of it. I mean, it's hard to evaluate though, because if you do get to level up aggressively, then it is nice, but the thing is, like, I'm not even seeing it being able to level up aggressively because the stats are way worse than just getting like minions. Oh hey, Dig Director, I saw your request, but I'm gonna have to do it once I start the game. I will change my background once I'm done though. Let's see. Yeah, like I don't know, it's just middle of pack. It's too RNG dependent on your shops. Vol'jin. So choose 2 minions, swap their stats for 0 gold. So I kind of talked about this a little bit in my Discord, but I think the idea of this one is it can be very strong in very ideal situations. Like if you're doing like Wrathweaver or Sorrow because you get those early, you can do your like mid-range strategy of buffing those up, but then you can also scale late game by putting these buffs onto better units. And it's not that hard to find these good units too, because we now have Tough Tusk, we have Deflecta, we have Hydra, we have all the Divine Shield minions that we can put it on. It's not that hard to find a carry unit because we got a very cheap one. It's gonna feel like kind of an Arana or like kind of like a Silas tier 2 strategy type of gameplay. And I think those are always interesting. It's like not as intuitive to think about these heroes because they play in such different ways if you want to use the hero power efficiently. I don't think this hero is like super busted because there's a lot of issues with actually getting use out of this hero power. Like, if you're just swapping unbuffed minions, it doesn't really matter that much. You can also put stats from minions on tokens. That's true too, yeah, huh? Okay, so early on, if you get token, then you just get to make your token minions a little bit bigger. So say if you start token, you buy token, you swap it with early stuff, you get a lot of tempo, you can power level with that. Okay. I actually didn't think about that. That's a very good point. I assume it can target minions in shop because it doesn't say choose 2 friendly minions. But I can't confirm it. Just from the wording and how they've done it before, I would say it can be a shop thing. Okay, there's a tweet. So you can use this for tempo just to give tokens more stats. So tokens are super important then. Okay, but you don't really want to level up aggressively with this hero as much. I mean, you can, like, it can be one of those things where you just, like, get token start and then you swap stats, but it's not even that good, right? Like, say you get token, you get Alley Cat, you win your first 2 fights because you swap, and then you, like, level up, then you have, like, you know, maybe a 4-3, or, like, a 4-4, maybe cat or something when you're on tier 3. Which I guess is like a thing, but you know, you can go to 3 quickly, but you can't really go to 4 as quickly. But yeah, like I think you have to play around this hero power a lot, and if you don't get the early scaling units, then it's kind of hard to make use of it. One kind of cute thing though is there's so many cards that work with this actually. Not just these stats too, but arm plus champion as well. Hey, what's up, Jurger? What if you just play like taunt comp really heavily on this guy and just try to hit either an arm or champion and then just play for tempo as hard as possible, and then at some point turn your champion of Yashraj into a massive deflecto or a massive cleave. Can you steal temporary stats like Murlocs? I mean, it's saying just straight up just swap their stats. Like, it doesn't matter if they have buffs or anything. You just completely swap their stats. So yeah, if you make massive Murlocs, then you can swap those Murlocs to other things, but I don't know how much that is gonna come into play. I guess it's pretty good though, right? If you do end up doing brand Murlocs somehow, you can swap your Murlocs to Divine Shield minions, which is really good. But usually, I don't know. Usually when you play Murlocs, your Murlocs don't have like that much attack anyways. They have poison, and you're gonna lose your poison when you swap. Makes Mithrax better too. Yeah. What about a War Leader? Oh, I see. Yeah, I think it probably works with War Leader. I don't know for sure though. But yeah, I'm gonna say this hero is I'm gonna say it's like top 10 maybe. I don't think it's gonna be like super OP. Like, I think there's no way it can be super OP. The hero power is way too conditional. I think it's very good. I think it's gonna be like an Arana type of hero where you're happy about it, but it's like kind of hard to play, and you can't easily go for wins with this because it's not doing inherently busted stuff like finding triples or power leveling up very aggressively, which is what the best heroes in this game do. It doesn't do anything that broken. It's like, yeah, it's just like a solid hero power that you need to work around. And by working towards this hero power, you are, not doing things that typically win games. But you're also not losing games, And then this one, I think I saw a lot of comments on people kind of hating on this hero. I like this hero a good amount actually. What do you guys think about this one before I kind of talk about it? So it's choose a minion Bob's Tavern to add to your hand, set its stats to 2. So that means it's going to be a 2/2. Alright, now. Yeah. Some people saying they like it a lot. I guess no one really mentioned that they didn't like this hero. I think it's a worse power leveling up hero than Yogg or Yashraj, but better utility. Yeah, I think so too. It's not nearly as good at leveling up, but I think that's fine because of its utility later on in the game. Yogg and Yashraj don't have any, basically have no use to their hero power later on. I think Yashraj at some point was a little bit better because you could power level up with it to like 6 and get 6 drops, but I haven't been able to do that anytime lately. I think because you get punished a little bit too hard now, and the hero power is not as good compared to others. But yeah, with this one, I think you want to play that typical Elise curve where you really, really want a token on turn 1, and you can find it very easily because you have 2 shops to see it. Unlike Yogg or Yashraj, where if you miss in the first shop and you see one like in the next shop where you can't really pick it up easily, you can pick it up very easily here. So It doesn't say add a copy. Yeah, it's just you just buy it from the shop. If it was make a copy, this hero would be really disgusting. And yeah, then I think it'd have to be nerfed. Because like every single minion is a pair. That's just not okay. And you're picking up that pair for like 2 gold too. How about the turn 2 hero power like you sometimes do on Yogg? I mean, I guess you can, right? You can if you get an econ minion. But yeah, I mean, I think it's fine. Like you can do it with like Wrath Weavers. You can do it with Wrath Weavers and token pairs. But yeah, typically you want to be leveling up. But like, I think one of the more important things is picking up a hero for 1 gold every single turn is so strong. Like this adds up very quickly. Like if you think about Maiev and how good Maiev can be in these Menagerie and Dragon comps, it's because, you know, it's picking up cards for basically free. This isn't doing exactly that, but instead of like delaying the minion, you get it immediately, and instead of being for free, it still costs 1 gold, but it's still pretty good. I mean, I guess that's just the weakness, right? Like it's just not as strong as other heroes are, but it's a solid hero power. I don't know if the 2/2 helps with anything else, right? Did anyone bring up that Vol'jin trivialized the Tabby Cat achievement? Oh, no, I don't. I think someone probably did, but I didn't see it. That's a good point. I'm gonna do that when Vol'jin comes out. Nice. That's that's like the easiest achievement to do now. But yeah, I guess the last thing would be like. And I'm gonna say for this hero, I think it'll be like. I think it'll be like a top 20 hero, so like a little bit above average. But yeah, I don't think it's doing anything too crazy. Yeah, it's at MP. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say for now. So worst hero out of the 3, best one, and like a fun hero but not inherently strong or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, like if nothing's too strong, then I don't think it's gonna change. Like none of these heroes change the metagame whatsoever. So there's not much to talk about in terms of that. They're just like, I don't know, kind of funnish heroes though. Oh, did I update the patch? No, I did not. I'll do that real quick. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel. Covered all the 3 heroes, and we talked about Quilboars. So for those of you who weren't here, games with. If you're just playing Quilboars, I think to win games, you need to transition to something else. But the Quilboar cards individually are quite good, and there's a few standout ones that fit easily in other comps. Those being Tough Tusk, the 6-drop cards, Charla, Captain Flat Hook Tusk, and Agam. And yeah, I think they'll be super fun to play. They're like, it feels like just like a better Pirates that meshes well with other things. Will you be posting these notes anywhere? I can share these notes right now. That should work. And then yeah, we were talking about the best possible cards. Now that I think about it, the Sun Bacon Relaxer, like, it's not really that good. I mean, you'll buy it if you desperately need some blood gems, but it's so inefficient for getting them. Compared to like what Elemental does, this card is so bad. Elemental is like insane. What program is am I using? I'm using Notion. It's quite good. But you have to know a little bit about Markdown to use it effectively, but it's not that hard to learn. Yeah, and then this is the card that you're gonna have to watch out for. It's the new Deflecto. It's so good. And then yeah, I was talking about the 6-drops. Like these cards are insane. Charla, let's scroll down so you guys can see. Charla, like these 6-drops are so good to triple into, and they're not even restricting like your setup to Quilboar. They're just like insane scaling units that also have a tribe on them, and you know, you can just keep on the board for quite some time until you need to get out of it, or you know, you can just go into your endgame comp. That's just how good they are. Whereas this one's the best one out of these two. This one is still good too. This one, I may be overhyping it a little bit though, but I do think it's very good to get early. Lee again, stream title. What? I typed it right. I typed Quilboar. Oh, is it just one? It's just one L. Okay, I didn't know that. Now I know. Yeah. I'm gonna say this one's still, like, you're still pretty happy to triple into it though, but yeah, I could say I'm definitely overhyping it. This one I don't think I'm overhyping at all though. And then yeah, the 5s are just kind of meh.